Hey everyone, Lenny with Literary Gladiators here, and today I'll be talking about The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I will pre-warn you, I might say The Secret Life of Addie LaRue at some point because that's what pops in my head the first time I think about it, but it's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.A. Schwab. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. So I enjoyed this book a lot. There's something kind of, I don't know how to describe. There's something kind of fun about it. There's something. I think maybe I liked Addie's character a lot. I'd love to actually see this story in a live action, like a movie, as long as they do it well. But it is, I think, for me, the biggest problem I have with it is that it's a lot of words, but there's really not too much plot. So you might be saying, well, why would you like a book that doesn't really have much plot? And there's just something there. I mean, there's a lot of repetition in this book where Addie's being brought here, there, and everywhere. They mention her freckles a lot, I guess is because it's like a character trait of hers. And it does lead into actually one of my favorite parts of the book. The freckles is that Addie ends up becoming this kind of inspiration for these great pieces of art by different artists and things like that. So if you don't know the premise of the book, basically Addie makes a deal with essentially the devil, like a demon, and it's to be forgotten because she doesn't want to marry this man that she's arranged to marry. So if you look at Addie, you'll know her, but as soon as she turns her back or she moves away or she's out of sight, you'll forget that you even met her. So for me, that aspect of these artists, this inspiration, that she has her being the inspiration for these different pieces of art and things like that, I thought that was really kind of neat and something that, well, I kind of have a fascination with those sorts of things, like how we have those similar stories throughout history, throughout different cultures that have never met each other, things like that. So this kind of reminded me of that aspect. I feel like the writing here is solid in the book. Again, aside from, like I said, there's kind of a lack of a plot, really, lack of, I guess, what Addie's going through. But it is told through her perspective, and I don't know. I find Addie kind of charming. Not so much at the beginning, but as she goes through and she starts kind of learning to live, learning to survive this life where she can't hold a job, she can't get married, she can't really have friends or be with anybody because they forget her as soon as she's out of sight. So I don't know. There's something about Addie that I really loved, and I think that's probably what kept me interested in the whole story and keep going. There's also something a little bit charming about the demon who is not just there at the beginning of the story, but is basically kind of torments, I guess, not necessarily torments, but torments Addie throughout the book. I think that's there's a certain charm there as well. All in all, I mean, I gave this book on Goodreads. I gave this book like I think a four stars out of the 5 because I really did enjoy it and I found myself interested in wanting to know where it was heading and what was going to happen. I feel like some of it was a bit on the cliche side. Then also the ending wasn't what I was expecting it to be, so that worked actually in the favor of the book. So for the writing itself, I feel like it's pretty solid. The actual technical writing and just the style of writing, I found it very engaging. And but again, for me, the downside is the lack of a plot. But I think Addie is a very likable character once she gets going. There's something just kind of charming. Charming is the best way I think I could put it. And I'd really like to see more of this world, but again, obviously not in a sequel or anything. Just more of a maybe like I said, like a movie or something, or even a mini series that would cover it. Anyway, so that's my review for Addie LaRue. That's kind of rhymed. And I almost called it The Secret Life of Addie LaRue again, of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So I would check it out. It's definitely a good read, and at least one that you should check out for yourself. All right. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.